my best friend Fanta. She Fanta. Oh, go best friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend.
Mukbang. Chicken, of course. I have seen people do the chicken wings with the sweet and sour sauce, so I thought that I would get that a try as well. But we're gonna eat this chicken and listen to some good old audiobooks and chill out until the time tell us we can't do it no more. Okay? So I have my sweet and sour and chicken. Of course, I got me a little side of water. And if I feel like drinking either one of those, I like those. But let's get it in, you guys. I am so happy that you guys are being so supportive and sharing my videos and commenting and liking. I appreciate that. So, to further ado, let's get started. Okay? This book is called A Property of the System. Okay? A property, a product of the system. Product of the system. Let's get it in, okay? And it's gonna say what's the name of the book or whatever. And we're gonna read some in the next video. We're gonna start back up from where we left off, okay? So let's get it in.
Blackstone Publishing and Buck 50 Productions present A Product of the System by Miss Michelle Orr. This book is read by Ellis Park. Who is the daddy? Damn, will y'all hurry the hell up and snatch this little crumb-begging bastard up out of me? Miss Simone was 23 years old, unmarried and uneducated, lying on a cold steel delivery table with her legs cocked open wide enough for a UPS truck to drive inside. She screamed, "I don't know how much more of this pain I can stand. Yank on his big head if you have to." Simone's all of a sudden Bible-toting, strict, holier-than-thou, also unwed mother had cast the rebellious Simone out years ago. She left her to basically get that shit how she lived, which for the team was straight out of scurvy. Done deal, real talk. Simone had no respect for anyone, not even herself. The exhausted night nurse on duty was at the end of a long, tiring shift. She was fed up, losing patience with the young girl's disrespectful demeanor. Taking a damp, cool cloth, she placed it on the back of Simone's neck, attempting to ease some of the tension in the room. She tried reasoning with her. "Listen here, miss. I know that it hurts to some degree, but you don't have to carry on like that," she scolded. "Now try to relax and get control of yourself." "How your old ass gonna tell me how to act?" Simone shouted out. "You ain't got no big baby dangling half out your pussy, so stop playing around and get this over. Why is taking so long?" Simone was out of breath from pushing. Even against the doctor's constant demands to calm down and not to force the baby out so fast, she refused. Simone was caught up with doing her own thing. In between each and every heavy pant she took, she found the time to curse. She berated the very nurses and doctors that were helping to bring her obviously unloved son into the world. "Young lady, please, you have to take it easy," the doctor pleaded repeatedly. "You might injure your child." "What about me and the way this freaking baby done injured my perfect ass?" Simone shrieked out in agony, still talking cash shit. "Is anybody concerned about that?" Thank God for everyone on staff. 2 or 3 more good pushes, and several dozen insults later, Terrell Dion Harris was finally born. After the fatigued doctor went through the ritual of hitting the baby's tender behind and cutting the cord, the nurse held him up to his mother's face for her to get her first look at her son. "It's a healthy baby boy." The doctors and nurses smiled with pride, having brought another child safely into the world. When Simone wiped the sweat from her eyes, seeing little Terrell, she went ballistic. "Bitch, is you nuts or something?" Why the fuck is you dripping all that mucus crap all on me? She not once took notice of the baby's dark, wavy hair or his tiny slanted eyes that were slightly open. There was no counting of fingers or toes, just flat out bugging. Why don't you go do your job and clean his butt off before you bring him the hell over here? Don't nobody want to be seeing all that slimy stuff? Y'all should be ashamed of yourself for the way you're behaving, the nurse belted out in response. I pity the man who fathered this innocent child. You're a disgrace to parents everywhere. Just do your step and fetching job, nurse old ass, before I crawl out of this bed and smack you. The entire delivery staff momentarily stood speechless at the young mother's rudeness. The nurse shook her head as she went about her way and cleaned the innocent newborn off. As Simone waited to hold her baby, she got increasingly angry, thinking about the ballers, shot callers cabaret that she would certainly miss that night. All the true players in Detroit were going to be flossing at that motherfucker. And here she was, stuck up in a hospital room with a damn baby that she felt had stretched her womb 10 sizes out of shape and caused her to gain at least 38 pounds. When Simone finally held her barely minutes-old son in her arms, she looked at him and giggled with relief. From his light, bright caramel skin to the shape of his upper lip, he was the spitting image of her and only her. Hallelujah, Jesus, and praise the Lord. There was not one thing about little baby Terrell that resembled his father. Not one of them. Not even his forehead. Then she softly whispered in his small ear with a huge grin on her face. Game on, little man. You about to make your mama some real paper now. Me and you ain't gonna want for shit out in these streets. Chapter 1. Girl, trust and believe when I tell you, things is straight lovely for a pretty bitch like me. I just can't believe how dumb and naive these assholes are in this freaking city. I swear to God, I have never, ever in my 25 years of living in the murder mitten seen two bigger fools walking the face of this earth than Joey and Kamal simple behinds. They must have been born without brains. I know that I'm the shit and all, but damn. Simone was sitting back, styling and profiling on her brand new plush cream leather couch, with both feet kicked up on a matching marble coffee table. She was like a Supreme Court Chief Justice Judge, residing on a bench holding court as she passed her own personal observations and views on different ghetto bullshit. Sporting the latest clothes, a new Lexus in the driveway, plenty of jewelry, and two dudes on her line, Simone was on top of the world and her game, so she thought. Having given birth to a bouncing 7-pound baby boy a little over 2 years ago, her body was finally back in tip-top perfect shape. All the weight she gained during her pregnancy managed to stay put in the right places and was toned. Miss Thane was what many old school players referred to as a brick house. Simone was completely convinced, hands down, no questions asked, that she was the shit and no one, man nor beast, could tell her any different. Even if they tried, it wouldn't do any good. Her self-esteem was seriously stuck on arrogant. Them crazy busters ain't got a clue about nothing. They gonna both hustle to take care of me and little T for the next 18 years, regardless. Flat the fuck out. Moving her shoulder-length hair out of her face, she smirked as the tightly twisted blunt made its way around the room to her. Simone placed it up to her nose, sniffing the strong, funky aroma. Hell yeah, this that true shit. She then put it up to her lips, inhaling deeply several good times, holding the smoke in until she started to choke. Simone tried her best to gain hold of her composure, taking full advantage of the blunt being in her possession. You watch and see. She hit it once again and started gagging. The game is on. Ain't no nigga around that ain't gonna serve me and my needs. Her friend stared at her only 15 seconds before she started to complain. Damn, bitch. Why you got to hog all the weed and shit? Shari started laughing as she snatched the blunt out of Simone's hand and protested. Other people want to get high too? Shit. Shari was one of Simone's best friends in the entire world and godmother to her son, Little T. The two girls had been hanging out with each other since the 4th grade at Mac Manor Elementary, when Cherie's family moved to the projects from Grove Hill, a small town located in rural Alabama, right outside of Mobile. While Simone was high yellow in skin tone, with shoulder-length golden brown hair and brown eyes, Shari was just the opposite. The hot Alabama sun had been generous with touching her already, extra dark chocolate complexion. Shari wore short dreadlocked hair, and her skin was overly cursed with acne, which always brought constant ridicule from the fellas, as well as most of the females she would encounter. Her best friend, Simone, didn't make it any better by always behaving like she was the real showstopper. Shari was content in playing a background position and was disgustingly loyal to Simone. She didn't mind playing a demeaning role as she was assigned in life. Shari admired her friend and loved listening to her brag about her so-called skills. It often passed the time away while they were getting fucked up. But the truth be told, deep down inside, Shari really felt sorry for her misguided friend. Simone struggled to talk, still choking as she laughed at Shari. "Be past careful, girl. Don't be burning up my shit with them ashes." She made sure to watch her friend like a hawk. It took her 2 long, solid months of begging and major ass kicking to get her new furniture. No matter how much crap she talked, bottom line, she knew her furniture would have to last for some time to come. No telling when Simone's money train would pull out of the station, leaving her high and dry and flat broke, looking for the next man in line to pick up the slack. Out of the clear blue sky, Simone jumped up, running over to look out of the huge picture window. With the rattling noise of the metallic blinds in her ear, she carefully searched the block for any signs of movement. After peeking out, scanning the premises and not seeing Jack, she went back and plopped her body on the couch. The weed had taken over, having Simone posted on paranoid status, thinking that she was hearing things. "Dang, I swear a bitch thought I heard somebody calling my name." Simone snickered as she finished her speech. "These trees must got me gone." Anyway, Shari, now, like I was saying, as long as I got little T, then a bitch gonna get tore off. That's a given. You feel me? In between Joey damn near furnishing this crib and Kamal paying my car note on a monthly basis, I'm tight. Please believe. Simone's tiny son had taken his first steps, celebrated 2 birthdays, and was smart for his age, but was still somewhat confused over which one of his mommy's boyfriends, who always took turns sleeping in her bed and lying on top of her, was his true biological father. Simone taught little T to call both of them Dad, and while not fully understanding one way or the other, he did as he was told. Joey and Kamal both showed little T unconditional love whenever they were around, and that was all that mattered to him in his little corner of the world. The entire 9 months of Simone's pregnancy, from conception to delivery, she had both Joey and Kamal running around catering to her every whim or desire. Whether it was an all-expense-paid shopping spree at the local upscale mall or fresh shrimp and lobster meals, it was done. Trips to the day spa to get a full body massage, including her swollen feet being rubbed. Simone had them both going in circles to please her. She constantly reminded them the reason she was so fat and uncomfortable was that she was carrying their seed. Simone was out cold rolling the dice in a potentially fatal game she was playing. When she got the results from her ultrasound, she unfortunately found out it was going to be a boy she would be giving birth to. She had to think quickly to maintain the game that she had started. The closer her due date got, the pressure was building. Joey or Kamal didn't have any children, making Simone's baby their first. She knew for a fact each of them would most certainly want his firstborn son to bear his name and carry on their family legacy. In any normal situation, when a female was pregnant, married or not, naming a baby was no big deal. Yet, nothing was ever easy when it came to Simone and her fast-paced, confusion-filled life. After weeks of thinking and scheming, she devised the perfect cover to secure her future. She explained to the 2 devoted, expectant fathers that she wanted to name the baby Terrell Harris. That would be after her loving father, who had tragically passed away when she was just a little girl. She even managed to shed a few tears looking sincere as a fuck when she told that sad, fictitious lie to each one. The crazy reality was, Simone never once met her father or even knew who the buster was for that matter. She acted her ass off royally, deserving an Academy Award for Best Dramatic Performance in a baby daddy lie. Touchdown! After all that plotting that Simone went through, it paid off, working like a charm. It had to. Her cash flow and everyday survival depended on it. Joey was the first one to give in to her emotional request, codenamed for lie. He was easy. His devotion for Simone was true. The things that he did for her and little T was strictly out of love. The day that Simone and the baby were due to be released from the hospital, Joey spent more than a couple of $1,000s on bottles, diapers, and cases of formula. He purchased a brass canopy crib fit for a little prince and enough clothes for an entire room full of babies. Joey vowed that his son would want for nothing. Simone, being the woman that carried his seed, would of course reap the benefits, receiving the same treatment as their son. She was undeniably living on Easy Street. Joey offered to marry Simone so they could be a real family, but she flat out refused the proposal after finding out that Joey's elderly parents would be living with them. There was no way that Joey was going to leave his folks, who were both sickly and needed him. They made sure to give him the best education they could afford, always taking him to museums, art galleries, and other cultural events to ensure that he was well-rounded and responsible. Joey's parents gave him everything they had. Now it was his time to repay their loyalty, and the type of man he was, doing that was not a problem, but a privilege. Kamal, on the other hand, was stubborn, meaning Simone had some heavy begging to do to finally change his one-track sinister mind. He wanted the baby named Kamal Issa Jeffries Jr. after him. Period. Point blank. He was way on the other side of the meter from Joey when it came to showing any form of compassion. If enough money was involved, he'd smack up, spit on, and rob his own dying grandmother of her last gasping breath. He was spiteful, stingy, and hard-nosed. Simone believed the fact that both his parents were drug addicts caused him to be so mean-spirited. Late one night after getting overly intoxicated, Kamal even let it slip out that he and his younger sister were both born crack babies, which definitely explained his mindset. She was happy that she'd never met either one of his parents, knowing they were the reason for the most of his erratic behavior. A loose cannon from first conception, Simone would always have to bring her A game when dealing with Kamal. The hustle was rough as hell, but the final payoff was always fucking gravy. Simone always got her way, even if it took an ass kicking to make it happen. Girl, what you gonna tell little T when he gets older and shit? He gonna wanna know the truth. Then what you gonna say? Shari was honestly concerned for her godchild's well-being and safety as she reached on the table, putting the blunt in the ashtray. She adjusted her body in a chair, relaxing as she stared at Simone so she can hear her friend's response clearly to the question. Then what? Don't worry about all that. By the time that bullshit jumps off, please believe I should be pushing a brand new car every season, living in a plush, lavish condo uptown and my pockets on swole. Let me run this, Shari. Simone rolled her eyes while sucking her teeth, twisting her neck. Just get ready to ride in that new Lex, all right, bitch? Shari hated to doubt her girl or her skills, but she knew that Simone was living foul as a motherfucker, and misery was lurking around the corner, waiting to pounce on her. I ain't mad at you, Simone. I swear to God, Shari insisted, raising her left hand up. I'm just worried about little T and how his feelings will be hurt when this lie hits the fan. Her facial expression was full of doom as she frowned at the thought of the outcome. Everything in the dark comes to the light sooner or later. All right, Miss Worry. Stop sending all them bad vibes my way. You blowing my dang on high. How about I see if I can get a babysitter and we go down to the club tonight? Simone was trying to change the subject and get Shari off her back. You know she needs to loosen the hell up. You right, Simone. I know I'm tripping. Shari tried to act as if she was done with the subject. I'm going to call prayers behind to see if that jealous Negro she lived with will let her hang out. Both girls gave each other a high five as they clowned their friend. Yeah, he do be acting like her damn daddy. Simone laughed as Shari grabbed her cell phone out of her purse and started to dial prayer. But for real, I do wish I had a man like Prayers. He really loves her, Shari smiled. Whatever, Simone replied with a sarcastic tone as she picked up the cordless phone off the charger, disappearing into the kitchen. She then swung open her well-stocked stainless steel refrigerator, checking how many juice boxes Little T had left while calling her young neighbor Yvette, who lived just across the street with her nosy foster mother. Anytime Simone needed a babysitter on short notice, the impressionable girl was Johnny on the spot and eager to please. Yvette looked up to her fly neighbor Simone. With all the high-priced cars and trucks that frequently pulled in and out of the driveway, and not to forget all the designer hand-me-downs Simone spoiled her with, Yvette loved being at the house, whether it was washing dishes, cleaning Little T's toy-filled room, changing his dirty pull-ups or braiding his hair. The orphan teenager would rush right over to do her undeserving hero a favor, despite her foster mother's disapproving glances. Miss Holmes seemed to have a third eye when it came to seeing Simone for what she truly was, trouble brewing. "Hey, Simone," Shari yelled into the kitchen. "Prayer said that old boy's out of town, so she'll be over in about an hour or so." Shari was always happy when all three of them went clubbing. It gave her someone to talk to when Simone would pull one of her all-too-famous disappearing acts and turn into a ghost. Simone was good with meeting some wannabe ballin' dude at the bar, getting invited to VIP, and leaving her friend's ass out to dry. "Oh, did that? That's tight. Yvette's young behind is on her way over, so let me get Little T up from his nap. Plus, I have to call Joey and see if he's going to hang out tonight or what." Simone came back into the living room, starting to gather up stuff to put in the oversized Coach purse, which doubled as her son's overnight bag. "Dang, G, Simone, I thought you, me, and Prayer were just hanging out tonight," Shari questioned with a disapproving frown plastered on her face. Simone did a double take at her girl, immediately stopping dead in her tracks. Steam appeared to be rising from her head as she leered maliciously at Shari. "Listen, you big crybaby. If Joey and his boys show up down at the club, we all three gonna get free drinks." Simone threw Little T's stuff down on the coffee table out of frustration. "So unless you got some other fools to sponsor our black asses, shut the fuck up and get your behind ready. How about that?" The room grew silent as Simone stormed out, marching into the bedroom to get her son up and ready to go over to Yvette's. "That bitch must be freaking nuts," Simone thought as she harshly shook Little T awake from his peaceful nap. It was no way in Miami heat hell that Miss Simone was going to let an opportunity to eat, drink, or party on someone else's fat pocket slip by. If Shari wanted to stay home and miss out on the fun, then so be it. That would be her fucking loss. Simone was about her business when it came to getting over. If it was ladies free before 10 o'clock, then you better know that Simone was walking in at 9:59 on the nose. She was always down for whatever, especially when it wasn't costing her a damn thing. "Hey, wake up, Terrell," she grabbed his little arms. "Yes, Mommy?" Little T began to cry from being instantly snatched out of his teddy bear Candyland dreams. "Come the hell on and help Mommy get your things so you can go bye-bye with Yvette." Little T was still half asleep as Simone stood him on his feet, forcing him to walk on his own. Still considered just a baby, he wanted to fall out on the floor, whine, and kick about being too sleepy to move, but was wise enough to know that his mother Simone didn't play that shit and would smack his hand, or better yet, his behind. Little T would have been considered a blessing and godsend to most parents, but to his mother, she saw him in a much different light, a meal ticket. The 2 baby books Simone kept with both Joey and Kamal's names listed as the daddy was proof positive of that messy, underhanded shit. Misunderstood Shari, still motionless, alone in the living room, finally quietly sat back in the chair without muttering a single solitary word as she listened to Simone bark orders to her son. She knew, once again, that her friend was right about the night. I guess the fella should come. Free is free. Chapter 2. It was almost 8 o'clock in the evening when Prayer was pulling up in the long gravel-filled driveway, bouncing her man Drake's brand new triple black Range Rover that was sitting on 22s. The sounds were on bump, causing the windows in Simone's house to vibrate from the bass, while as the neighborhood kids stood wide-eyed and amazed at the spinners. They swarmed around to gawk while dancing to the sounds of the music playing. It was a typical scene out of a deep, down in the dirty rap video with everyone snapping their fingers. Even Granny, she was "Oh, wait, that's my truck," one kid yelled. "No, it ain't, it's mine," screamed the next. Shari happily ran on the porch and out of the sidewalk, greeting prayer. "Damn, chick, when did y'all get this? This shit is hot to death. Y'all two done moved up in the world."
Okay. Okay. So we on chapter 2. We'll watch chapter 2 in the next video. So what did y'all think about chapter 1? How did y'all like chapter 1? God, here. How did y'all like chapter 1? I like chapter 1. Okay. Simone is a mess, honey. He is a mess. But I can't wait to hear chapter 2. And I want you guys to stay tuned to chapter 2 and see what's gonna happen next. Let's see what kind of mama she is, boy. Let's say person, period. Use the shit out of you, okay? But so we on chapter 2. I want you guys to comment below. Comment below what you think gonna happen to Simone. Or what you think gonna happen to the best friend. Okay? I don't know. I never heard the book. But I know it's good. But I kind of get a feel of where it's gonna go. But I leave that up to y'all. Okay? Don't you guys forget to go follow BF Eats Good and Best Friend Eats. That's the group page. BF Eats Good. It will lead you to Best Friend Eats, which is the group page. Okay? Chicken is so good with this sweet and sour sauce. What do you know? What do you know? Really good. They on to something right here. What's that? Really good. Oh, it's time for me to get on off here. Get this last chicken. That's how you eat chicken. That's how you eat flats. Okay? But I like Jerome. I like the legs. I like this part right here. But people say you ain't grown unless you had this part. Honey. It's all chicken.
Cause my best friend finna, she finna, oh. Oh, go best friend, that's my best friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend.